Hey guys, welcome back to the Driving Academy podcast. Today I'm sitting here with
Lena
and Michael.
And these guys are partnering with Driving Academy to open up a franchise in Arizona. If you're interested in opening up a Driving Academy franchise in your area, click the link below, fill out the form, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So guys, introduce yourselves to the audience. What's your relationship with each other?
Yeah, I'm Lena, and Michael is my brother, who is the owner of the new franchise for Driving Academy.
Okay, so Mike is your brother.
Yes.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings or 4 children in the family. It's me and my 3 brothers. My mother wanted a daughter, and then she got a tomboy, which is me. So she essentially has 4 boys.
This is going to be vibes. Okay, and what's your background in trucking, if any?
So I was in the Army for 15 years, and so I did logistics, and I was a helicopter mechanic for a short time. And then when I was in logistics, I was supply and training for a aviation company. And then on my later years, I was in a transportation company. So I worked with the big trucks, big trailers, moving equipment across the country. Did a lot of that stuff during COVID. So we moved a lot of equipment here and there across Arizona to Louisiana back. So I have knowledge in the military side of a CDL, not the civilian side of a CDL.
Okay. So you have some experience with trucks in
Yes.
general. Okay, coolness. Okay. And then Mike, what experience do you have with trucking in general, if any? Or just in business?
I've got kind of like a weird background. So I've got, my general background's in business. So, most of our students, I think, and why I'm so excited about this is students are going to want to get into this to elevate their career and make money in the trucking industry. So I have a lot of great business background knowledge to help them, hopefully sidestep out of some low-level paying careers into something a little bigger. I've owned a driving in Arizona for about 15 years. Bought it from another gentleman who had operated it 20 years prior. So we've always been in driver's education. And this just was a natural selection for us to go taking our student drivers into a full-time career and maybe even into a business opportunity. And hopefully we can help with all of them.
Okay. So you guys own a driving school from what I understood.
Yes, he owns Stop and Go Driving School in Tucson, Arizona. We teach new drivers, people that have no driving experience, how to operate a vehicle.
Okay, so I can see where this kind of made sense. So this is where you want to kind of point one business to another and kind of bring them together a little bit to see a bigger profit.
Yeah, sister companies, where we can turn those 18-year-old, 21-year-old college students that come to us that have never driven because they live on the East Coast.
Right.
They don't need it because they have public transit. They come to us, and then we teach them how to drive and say, hey, let's transition that into a career field for you.
Okay, coolness. That is so cool. And where and how large would you guys say is the need for truck drivers in Arizona?
Yeah, I was going to say, every corner you turn, there's a hiring for CDL. There's, need for, $35 an hour paying jobs. There's need for independent truckers. When I look at my horrible Amazon shopping list, I know my wife sends them here. They only get here by truckers. So I know just by that alone that she's going to help feed the CDL portion of our business.
And now, Lena, I'm going to ask you a question because you've kind of been, hands-on into this training that we have kind of set up for all of our franchises. You guys come out here. We kind of get to just kind of show you a visual view of kind of what it is that you'd be, doing when you guys go back. What is it that you can say that is different here about getting a CDL in New Jersey as opposed to what it would be in Arizona? Because I know you guys said there's a huge need, but what are some of the other differences?
Maybe comparable in different aspects because you guys are a port city, but we are a southern border city. So we have a lot of trade and commerce coming across the southern border that's moved by truck and trailer.
Right.
Or we also have a lot of military units that those people need training, or they have training in basic things, and then they want a career field in the trucking industry to move equipment across the United States. I'd say they're comparable in certain aspects, but there are slight differences.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot less honking in Arizona.
Yes.
I don't know. It seems
The
like
yellow
New
ones.
Jersey,
The yellow
we're
ones
a little
stop.
grumpier over there for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Let me kind of ask you guys this as well. How would you guys say that you guys are planning to accommodate to Spanish-speaking individuals?
We've been really successful in the driving education business of basically coming up with an ESL program from English to Spanish to help our multi-language people be successful. There's a huge need for it. A lot of our trucks go over our southern border, so there's multi-bilingual folks naturally down here. And we will, innovate and come up with some different ideas to help. One of the challenges is that, the tests are in English, and that's a federal requirement. But with our, ESL practicing skills over the past 14 or 15 years, we're confident we can make our Spanish speakers successful.
Yeah. Lena, what made you guys choose Driving Academy? Like, what stood out about Driving Academy that you were like, yeah, we're going to open up a franchise with?
I would say there's a few things. Like, one, I was looking for somebody who had a proven history, and, coming from driver's education to advancing into CDL, we needed expert knowledge, and Driving Academy provided that. The systems was another plus of what I was searching for. I needed something that was robust and student-centric, and, that CDL drivers, when they completed the course, raved about, and that's what we found in Driving Academy.
Okay, so Mike, aside from Driving Academy, did you kind of dip your toe into other franchises or any other CDL schools, and kind of like, what was the difference between those schools and Driving Academy?
I think for us, we're going to position ourselves in the market to be the leader. It might take a little bit of time to get there, but, we have the ability to start students now. We have the ability with unbelievable 7-day-a-week schedule to accommodate any, work-life balance, or some folks might want to keep their job and get their CDL, then transition out. Some people might want to be full-time. Some people might want their CDL as fast as they can. Like, we can accommodate everything. Right. So on top of that, which is even more important, is we're, the curriculum and the instruction that will be given is world-class. It's, where they're going to come out and be extremely employable and upgrade their lifestyle right away. And I think we have a huge niche in the market that's going to keep other CDL schools on their toes. We also have some things, too, to make people a little more comfortable. Like, we have the most advanced simulator out there. So if you haven't driven a big truck, you can come in and you can run over a couple signs and not hurt anybody. And we can teach you how to do it the right way. Right. There's some advantages that we have that are just going to be really hard for our competitors to compete with us.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, for sure. Now you're out here in New Jersey, and you're kind of taken away from the training that we have here. What about the training would you say that you're definitely looking or excited to kind of take back with you to Arizona?
The CRM system's easy to use. Has good functionality. I'll just change the word. Good functionality. Trying to put it into like a $10 word sentence. So it's good functionality. It's easy to navigate. Makes it easy for my staff, I think, back home to transition from our individual driving school to the CDL school. They definitely have a lot of similarities in the program that you guys use. So I think that will be seamless for us to just take that next step into training those new drivers into CDL drivers. The staff here was accommodating. They made us feel welcome. They, were helping us, taking baby steps, and then helping us kind of run or crawl, walk, run into the program. And I feel, after the training that we're going to be able to go back to Tucson and hit the ground running.
That's great. That's definitely the goal here with our training, to kind of really help our franchises feel comfortable as well as feel well off their feet. How would you describe the training?
Clear, concise. The information was given in a manner that myself and my staff could understand. They provided all the training materials, all the information that we would need to be successful in our endeavor in Tucson.
And another undisclosed location coming soon.
Yes, undisclosed.
Oh, wait, you guys have another location coming?
We're planning to open a secondary CDL school in Arizona.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's so cool.
Breaking news. Maybe more if we do well.
Yeah. We'll be successful. We're a good team.
Okay, well, speaking of being successful, question for you, Mike. What are your Driving Academy Arizona goals?
Well, we plan on being the market leader, so we got to get there first. So number one is we're going to listen to our students, and we want to provide the best education experience possible. We want to make it the fastest, the easiest, most convenient, and we want to make them the most employable. When we market cap that and focus on our students, the rest will come. We also really strong-minded when it comes to culture. We find the best teams, the best people, and we have the best instructors, and we will stay that way forever.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Speaking of instructors, have you gotten a chance to see the yard yet, Lena?
Yes, I've been out there a couple times.
Okay. And how would you kind of describe your yard, the physical truck training, as well as just the environment at Driving Academy amongst coworkers?
So that it's busy, which is good. It's a good sign when your yard is busy and trucks are moving, because that means instruction's happening.
Yeah.
It means that teaching's happening, and that's good to see. It means that what these people are coming in paying for is actually being done. And then, seeing the students come back into the office once they've graduated, or they finish their training for the day, or they've taken their road test, the pride that they see in themselves after accomplishing their goal is something that, every business owner wants to see, that your staff and your environment is conducive to learning and producing the next drivers in the country.
And my last question for you guys is, you guys have been in business for quite some time now, and I kind of just wanted to know, what is something that you guys either say to each other or that you guys kind of say to yourselves to motivate to keep going, to keep pushing, as well as to kind of help come up with some new ideas to bring in more business?
Lena usually just tells me I'm wrong, and I agree, and it seems to work out.
We have a good work balance.
It's been a great model so far. I think in general, her military experience and able to get things done and retain information unbelievably fast, and I think like my business acumen and ability to kind of create and find different ways that the market hasn't seen yet. And I think that team coming together is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
He's good at the refinement. I'm good at the hit the ground running.
Yeah, I don't like the details. So I have to have somebody who can do the details for me, so she keeps me in order. And then my wild ideas, she helps figure out how to implement them.
And Lena, you were perfect for that. Just scoring out all the details.
Yeah, I feel like my military logistic history, using multiple pieces of that to kind of correlate it over to the initial school that he had running. I came in to just, help facilitate that and be a partner with our other staff. Right. And then when he wanted to expand into this venture, I was like, oh, this is something we totally can do. Like, we already have a pipeline, and it just makes sense to try to expand that pipeline and to, like I said, to expand our educational background into teaching CDL versus just teaching how to drive.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. I freaking love that. Okay. And your role for this portion of the business is you're the director, right? You said you're going to be the school director?
Yes, that will be my position at Driving Academy.
Okay.
For this hat.
For this hat. Okay. And you've sat next to, and during this training, you've sat next to our school director, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you excited? I guess this kind of falls back into my last question that I kind of asked you guys, but from you sitting as a soon-to-be school director, sitting next to a school director, what is something that you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely mimicking that, like when I go back?
The processes that you guys have in place make sense. They're functional. They make it seamless from start to finish. Okay. And so there's no sense in reinventing the wheel. I feel like plagiarism is the best form of flattery. That's a military saying. So if you've got a system that works, there might be finite details that we need to change because West Coast versus East Coast and certain things. But I feel like what you guys have a good baseline for us to project off of.
Okay. And is it just you? Because I know you said you guys are siblings. Is there anyone else? Like, is there any other, siblings that are kind of going to be, they're going to take on some other roles? Like, because I know you said this is a family business. Like, you're going to be the school director. He's the owner. Are any of your other 4 brothers kind of included in this?
My oldest brother works for a college, and we've talked about him trying to join if we expand to the next franchise. He has interest in being a business owner and doing things, and he's got similar characteristics that we have. And we have a younger brother that's still serving in the Army, so I don't know that he's quite ready to join the family business. But we also, our other staff that currently works for the Stop and Go driving school have been there many, many years, and we value all of them. And they're going to be an intricate part of this business. And then my daughter also works for Stop and Go, so she's also going to be wearing both hats, or, we're going to be working together to make this as successful as we possibly can. Right. So we want to be a family-owned and operated business where, you are valued and you are important to the team. Right. Whether you're related to us or not.
In the studio there, she could probably be the future director, so we can hand it off and retire.
Yeah, Lexi? Yeah. Molding the next generation.
Okay, cool. Respectable. It was kind of like what kind of gives you the confidence to kind of come from teaching people how to drive cars or drive in general. And it was kind of like, what's the similarities, basically? Like, what kind of gives you the confidence to say, like, okay, this is going to be, like, what's the similarities between both businesses that you're like, oh, this is not too different from what I do over there, if that makes sense?
Okay, so have you ever been in a car with a teen driver?
No.
So that's like a whole different animal when somebody has zero experience on how to operate a car. Mm-hmm. So you're literally giving them a rocket ship and saying, hey, let's go for a drive. So our instructors are high quality for the stop and go section of our drive or our business. And now we've given them the tools, especially if we're trying to do that pipeline thing that I was talking about.
Yeah.
If we're teaching them the basics, I know that they're going to be qualified CDL drivers because I know the quality of training that they received even in their initial setup. They don't have bad habits in driving because we've established what they needed to be a good driver, to be a safe driver on the road. And so when they correlate that over to the CDL, like most of these people coming to you have already had a driver's license. They've been on the road for probably quite some time, maybe not a fresh driver, but they have experience in the real world of what it means to operate a vehicle.
Yeah.
And so now we can correlate that to the moving of a truck. Like, hey, those skills that you've learned in your car, you know, they're just bigger. They're on a grander scale in the CDL portion of the driving.
Okay. And with the instructors that that you kind of have now and the instructors that you're learning from here that know how to operate a truck, is there certain things that you kind of plan to, I guess, collab? Like where you're like, okay, I like how my instructors operate with the teens here to kind of make operating a regular vehicle very simple. I'm going to kind of tweak the truck training, if that makes sense, to kind of, or incorporate some of that into...
Yeah. I feel like when you put things in layman's terms or make it more personal to the training, like to the person, like, hey, when you drive for Amazon, right? You see them drive down the street, you see them pull up, you don't see them like slam on their brakes or like weaving in and out of traffic, or at least you hope that they're not doing that. So we don't want to train our drivers in those bad habits that you see on the roadway every day. And driving the cars in Tucson, you know, those learning things happen organically as you're driving. Like you're driving a car and somebody runs out, and I can't teach that training. It's just something that happens. So I feel like our instructors are already qualified to anticipate certain things on the roadway because they're on the road several hours a day. And not all of our driving instructors for stop and go are different than our CDL drivers, but the quality of the instructors that we're searching for, we want to maintain that standard for our CDL school.
Right.
And so like our drivers for stop and go have been with us years. We don't have turnover. We have people that are established that have been with us since the inception sometimes of the company that have worked there 15, 16 years that have stuck around with us and that enjoy what they do. And so we hope to make that model again for the CDL school, that we want you to stay. We want this to be where you want to work, what you want to do every day. And I feel like that when you love your job and you love what you're doing, that translates over into how you're teaching and how you're educating your students.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we're just going to put the student drivers in the CDL trucks first. So
and be like, here.
To go in the Prius, it's a lot easier after that.
Well, it might be. We could do it backwards. Put them in the yard and then put them in the Prius.
Right.
Or put the Prius in the back of the trailer. You know? Here, you're going to ship the Prius. I want to be as big as we can make this. Yeah.
Okay. And how big do you guys plan to kind of make your team be? Like, how big do you want your team to be?
I want us to grow and be as successful as possible. And that means, like, growing our team to the biggest that is possible, that you still maintain the standards and quality of training that the students need from their schoolhouse that they're learning from. But, you know, as we expand, I'm all for making it bigger and better.
Yeah.
And as big as we can make it.
We have a big family, so we can grow the business quite large.
Yes. We got cousins, aunts, uncles, you know, just call them all in.
Okay, great. Very commendable. That's pretty much it. That's all the questions that I kind of have for both of you guys today. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Even in the condition that you're in, thank you so much for joining the podcast.
No problem. Sorry I didn't make it out there.
No, you're all good. This was just as fun. But yeah, and thank you so much, Lena, for joining our podcast. Yeah, and I hope, I wish good things on Driving Academy Arizona. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our Driving Academy podcast. And if you're interested in getting your CDL license and you're located in Tucson, Arizona, click the link down below. They'll be opening up their location on April 1st. And schedule your tour and get on the road to freedom. Thank you guys so much for watching. See See you guys later.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to get your CDL license, you know where to go. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, right over there. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this video right over here. So make sure you check that out. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you soon.